Hey friends, let's do some art. Let's do some art that has the element of art that's line, and then we're going to throw in the principle of art balance, and specifically radial balance. So let's go ahead and get our supplies. You're going to need a pencil, some paper. This is just regular paper, cut into a square. And if you don't know how to cut paper into a square like this, I'm going to show you how to fold it. Okay, so if you have a long piece of paper like this, or if you have a piece of typing paper that's rectangular, that is not square, and you need to make it square, we're going to fold it like this. You're going to put your paper down, you're going to start from the bottom corner, you're going to grab that corner and hold this one in place and bring this corner up to this edge and line it up straight. So that is not straight. We're not looking for that. We're not looking for this. We need it 100% straight on the edge like this. We're going to hold it in place. Bring your finger down, crease. All right, so crease it good. This edge right here, where it meets the paper, if you cut on that edge right there, I'm going to take the scissors, we're going to cut right here along that edge. When you open up your paper, it will be a square. So you're going to need a square piece of paper for this activity. So you need a marker, a thin marker, a thick marker, and some colored pencils. These are optional, but you can use colored pencils. So the first thing we're going to do is fold our paper and get it ready for our design. So let's take the paper and we're going to fold from corner to corner and hold it tight. Bring your finger down, crease. And then we need to make sure it's nice and creased. And then we're going to take it, we're going to fold it back on itself so that this crease is kind of like a hinge. We want it to be able to open up and close. So we're just going to do this. So now it's folded forward and backward. Now, I'm going to rotate my paper and I'm going to go from this corner. So there's the fold. I'm going to grab the folded end and I'm going to go from this corner to this corner. And crease. Okay. So then I'm going to fold it back on itself again. Get a hinge fold. All right, so what I have then is from this corner to this corner, this corner to this corner. And I've got 4 rectangles. I'm going to now fold my paper, put it straight. I'm going to fold 2 corners over to 2 corners. So just completely straight over. Hold your paper, bring the paper over, line it up perfect, and then fold. These have to be lined up perfect before you fold for your design to come out right. All right, so then open it up and fold it back on itself. All right, so now I'm going to rotate my paper so that I can grab that fold and put my finger right here on this fold and bring it over. Be careful because you've got so many folds in there. Bring it over corner to corner, just like we did. Line it up perfect. Hold it and crease it. You can do this on any size square that you want. All right, so I've got lots of folds in my paper. We are going to be focusing on one section at a time. So just to show you what I mean, we're going to be focusing on one section like this at a time. Now, it's going to be hard to draw that design with this paper folded like this. So we're going to open it up, and we're just going to look at one section. And we're going to draw a design on there. So pay attention to your section, and I'm using a regular pencil. Do not use a mechanical pencil. You need a regular pencil, and we have to do it very, very, very light to start off with to make sure you like your design. And we're going to stay within this section making our design, and we're going to make it very light, and it can be as abstract as you like. There should not be any lines that touch real close to each other because they're not going to transfer very well. And we shouldn't have little tiny, tiny designs. So try to keep your designs the size of a dime or larger, and not too many small designs. So let me just go ahead and start off with adding something. So I'm going to start here down here at the bottom, and I'm going to add in a swirl. All right, so then maybe I want to add in something here, a teardrop. Now I'm going to come up here and add something because I need to go all the way to the edge. So what can I add? I'm going to go around what I already have and stop. And then I'm going to put in these kind of designs. And then maybe I'll put in a circle and a smaller circle. And then here I can put in a triangle and a triangle. Now that's getting real small, so be very, very careful. So if you don't like this, you can erase it because I did it very light. After you decided that you like it though, we're just going to go with this. After you decided that you like it, go back in and trace every bit of it. Press a little harder. So what we're trying to do, once you've decided you like your design, what we're trying to do is put down graphite, because these pencils are not lead, they are graphite. So we're going to put some graphite down on the paper so that we can rub this design onto the next surface beside it and get the exact same design. And once we do that all the way around, we will have a design that has radial balance. I think I want something in here. All right, so there. Now, this design, when you are transferring it, has to be on top. Whatever you just traced has to be on top when you fold it. So we're going to fold this triangle on top of this triangle. They have to touch. So this triangle on top of this triangle, like this. We're going to hold it in place. Then you're going to take the back of your marker and we're going to rub it. Just like this, right over top. We're rubbing the back of what we just traced, or what we just drew. It is the back side of it. And we're pushing with some force to get this image to transfer onto the piece of paper. All right, so open it up, and there the image has transferred. You can see that this part didn't transfer so well. So you can just fold it back over and rub it there again. Right there, now see it's transferred. So now that this image is transferred over here, take your pencil and trace the image on this side. And press pretty hard. It doesn't have to be hard, but not very light. And then come over here. And I'm just tracing the image. All right, so now I've got this image traced again on that side. I'm going to rotate my paper, and I'm going to do exactly what I did with this one. I'm going to fold this image on top of this. So I'm going to fold it here. So I'm pick up the image that I just traced, and I'm going to make sure I fold it. So whichever way you have to, don't do that, because it's going to go over here. So make sure that this folds on top to that very next triangle. So it's going to have to go this way. And then you're going to rub the back of it. So we're going to do that all the way around the paper, folding the image all the way around the paper and rubbing. can see the radial design all the way around. So this gives us an example of what radial balance is, something that starts from the center and radiates out. So the center design, and then it goes out towards the side, and every part of the radial design is repetitive, so it's got pattern in it also. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our marker and we're going to trace with the marker. Make sure you have something underneath your paper when you're tracing. Just another sheet of paper will work. I have a mat that I can put underneath this. It's just another sheet of paper will work like this to keep it to go from going through this paper onto the surface. So this is when you have to decide if you're going to make yours totally black and white or if you're going to add some color. I've got a thin marker and a thick marker. So we're also going to add in line weight. So some of your lines, you can make them thicker, but whatever you do to this part right here, this section, whatever you do to this section that you drew, you have to do to every single section. So it has to be completely patterned, repeated. So you're only designing one section, and then you're making sure the other sections look just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and trace mine with a marker. Okay, looking at my design, I've added this here and these dots. And if you're still not satisfied with the way that it looks and you want to add something else, you can take your pencil and you can pick one of the designs and you can add something. I think I'm going to add a dot in the middle of each one of these, a solid dot. If you think that you can do that and go ahead around, you can. You can just continue to go around and put a dot in each one of these, or you can fold and do it that way. Okay, so I've added the dots. So what we have here, we have a picture. This is a radial design. We have line weight because we have thin lines here and thick lines here. We have solid colored in things and open right here. If you're finished with it, you can just call it quits right here. Erase, take the eraser and erase the pencil marks, which is what I suggest you do before you color it. Even if you think it's finished, or not finished, you need to erase the pencil mark before you try to color in with a colored pencil. So I'm gently erasing the pencil marks from the sections, one square at a time, and it kind of cleans up your picture. So you can call it quits, black and white, or you can add color with the colored pencils. Okay, so I have decided to go with 4 colors. So what we have here is 2 cool colors and 2 warm colors. And you can decide how to use them according to the color wheel. What you need to do is design one section and decide how you want it to look. So I think I'm going to take this section. I'm only looking at this section. So it could be easier if you took some paper and covered up the rest of your design so that you're only looking at one section when you're designing it. And so there it is. I'm looking at one section. And you can color everything and leave the background, or you can color the whole thing. I mean, just the background and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this little flower. I'm going to make it this pink color. Okay, so that's what my triangle looks like. I have to do that to every triangle. I have to do that same design to every single triangle. So that means this part is yellow in every one of them. So you might as well just go ahead and pick up your yellow and color everything like that. Okay, so it's colored in, and I use colored pencils. And in this particular instance, it may as well have been crayons or anything because it's all just one tone. So once you've got it all colored in like this, then you should kick it up a notch by going in with, since it's colored pencils, and going in and layering in colors to make things look like with different value, so that your picture can look, it's going to take a lot longer, but it's going to look a lot better, more vibrant. Okay, so here it is after I've added some layers. I suggest you do the same to yours.